Greetings! I am Brad Hessel and I am running for North Carolina State Senate in District 18. The so-called war on drugs, initiated nearly 50 years ago by the Nixon administration with the explicit intention of targeting African Americans and hippies, who Mr. Nixon considered enemies, the war on drugs has been an unmitigated disaster, both for our own citizens and for millions of people living south of our border. At home, we incarcerate more people on a per capita basis than any other nation on the planet. Most of them non-violent people who do not belong in jail. Many come out hardened criminals, and all with reduced career opportunities marked for life as felons. Aside from the waste of human capital and the harm this does not only to those jailed but to their families, we are wasting billions and billions of dollars on the prosecution, incarceration, and parole monitoring of those folks that could be better spent on addiction treatment programs, for example. We spend more money per year on the average inmate than on the average K-12 student. And our dogged pursuit of the war on drugs fuels a vast black market here in the USA, which demand, in turn, lavishly funds highly organized criminal activities south of our border. This is aimed at competing to meet that demand, and this competition, of course, is often violent and invariably corrupting. Life in the countries where the drugs are produced, in which politicians are bribed and professional assassins operate with impunity, can be hellish, which, of course, contributes materially to the flow of refugees and undocumented immigrants here in the USA. In effect, we owe those folks, but that's another subject and mostly a federal issue. Similarly, the North Carolina Senate has no control over the federal war on drugs, but there are some things we can and should do. 1. Reduce or eliminate sentences for non-violent drug users. Folks with addiction issues need targeted health care, not jail time and criminal records. 2. Legalize medical and recreational use of cannabis. I talk about this in detail in another video, and we'll add the link to that video in a comment for anyone who's interested. 3. Restorative justice for non-violent felons convicted under rescinded drug laws. Colorado is often held up as a model for marijuana legalization, and in many respects it is, but they did nothing for folks who were convicted of selling marijuana in the past, many of whom are still languishing in jail or trying to get by, branded as felons, while entrepreneurs make millions selling pot legally now. Those so-called felons at least deserve to have their criminal records expunged, if not some sort of compensation. I am Brad Hessel, candidate for the North Carolina Senate in District 18, and I approve this message.